recent study that shows that there are actually also floating voters who are not necessarily aligned on tribal, religious, or other external dynamics or the dynamic interest, and they tend to vote according to what they feel will serve best their needs. And they are a new generation, we'll probably say the Gen Zs, and they are also very much online, and they are also more into getting to what the political parties are promising. And hopefully this voters compass will direct them as a compass to who is going to serve their needs and meet their aspirations, and then they'll vote according to that line. So we've actually split the country into three. So we have the southern, the middle, and then the northern zones. So this one is the southern one, and then we're going to do one in Kumasi, and then one in the northern region in Tamale, so that we're able to get people to join and also participate in this conversation that we're having around the manifestos. I think it is good. Compared to previous manifestos, these ones are more concrete. A lot more of the promises are also feasible. The only thing that we'll probably say, which we still need to work around, is the political commitment and the political will that they'll be able to implement all these promises that they're making in their manifestos. So yes, it's sanitized, and it's much better. It's an improvement on previous elections, political party manifestos that we've seen.
Well, this year we will see around about 700,000 voters that go to the ballot box for the first time. And this could definitely have a very decisive impact on who at the end of the day will win the election, which party, which presidential candidate. And with the parliament being the sovereign and representative of the voters and of the Ghanaian people, we would be very interested to see an election that really represents the interests of the people, and a decision to vote based on an informed decision that really takes into account the interests of each and every single voter, so that they can make sure that at the end of the day, the parliament that sits there is representing them to the best that they can do. Yeah, well, when we look at the voters' compass, they looked at the various party manifestos and the manifestos of the independent candidates. And in there we find questions, for example, should there be a review of the free secondary education program that we have at the moment? Should there be free healthcare for everybody? Should there be a flat tax rate that is introduced? And all kinds of different questions. And not every party and every candidate has the same view on this. And I mean, I would assume that a lot of the first-time voters don't necessarily know very exactly which candidate supports which decisions on these, but it has a very big impact on their life if healthcare, for example, is free or not. So this is what I mean with the interests that people have. I mean, it really goes into the money and their pockets at the end of the day in some of these regards. And they should also base the voting decision based on these factors. So for me, the voters' compass is really a tool that is educative and informative and really helps people to take politically well-informed and grounded decisions. The biggest outcome that I expect is a bit intangible, because it is really the decision process in each voter's mind. Does he vote a bit on the family lines? For example, the candidate the family would usually vote on, does he vote based on the region he comes from and the candidate comes from? Does he vote on, I don't know, maybe he likes the picture specifically of a certain candidate? Or does he vote on, well, actual political issues that the candidate is bringing forward? And that, for me, would be the most ideal outcome, that the guiding principle for taking the voting decision is actual political issues and points brought forward by the candidates, and less other factors.